I'm going to be going ahead of myself. There's a lot of people that don't take the word of the Lord from their pastor seriously. They just feel I can read my Bible. The Bible is enough. Yes, God knows why He puts you under a pastor. Though the Bible is enough, you need to read the Bible. It's the principle for life. And the Bible speaks to the entire life of you. But having a pastor in your life speaks to every moment of your life. Yes. So if you are not cognizant of you connecting with your pastor, you may miss out of your blessings. An entire destiny can be slowed down or even lost. God doesn't make a mistake. Yes. I'm just going ahead of myself. So I'm going to be speaking on mission and money. And my own perspective. I've come today with a perspective. Yes, I'm just partnering with missions. I'm not a pastor like your pastor. So just listen to my own perspective. Mission is faith-based activities engaged in by either an individual. So you can do it as an individual. You can do it as a group. If you are not competent enough to handle it alone, you can join forces with other people or as a church or as an organization. And it's just to focus on mission work. And what exactly is that supposed to be? Is to spread faith. Somebody gave $20 million. Is to spread something. So if you are funding mission, you are spreading Jesus. Sorry, let me take you back. Do you know that Coca-Cola is in some places where they've not heard about Jesus? How many of us know? I'm telling you, the drive for Coca-Cola, oh my God. When I left, I had to go to different schools to calm me down because my clients that paid were running away from me. The drive was too much. Imagine a client paying you and you come, it's like, you came? So you came, I'm like, so what am I supposed to do? The level of drive. And I'm talking about a business. I'm talking about a career. And we're saying we can't do that for Jesus? No, you don't really love Jesus. No, you don't. I'm saying Coca-Cola. In fact, I didn't even know what other drinks tasted like. When God told me I was supposed to leave that job, I fasted for 1 year because I felt that must have been the devil to leave. We were so indoctrinated. We were so engaged. In fact, we saw if we're not drinking evil water, that was a competitor. If you're supposed to be drinking a product of Coca-Cola and you drank Zobo, you just competed. That was a competitor. If you were supposed to be drinking Coke and you bought recharge card, that was a competitor. Yes. So what Coca-Cola will ordinarily do is to partner with Airtel. I know it's red, so that you can have a recharge card and have a Coke. We call it associated brand. I'm talking about a career. Now Jesus, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, and we cannot be passionate. No, we've not started. Today, something must burn inside of us to take Jesus to the next level. From your pulse, people should be seeing Jesus. And I'm saying this mission could involve special sermons on mission, just like I'm doing today. Fundraising. I am going to raise funds here. I'm not Pastor Kola. I'm just warning you beforehand so that you be prepared. And I'm going to tell the security to lock the door. Nobody will go out so that we can do the. And also, we also see testimonies, because sometimes we think some things are far-fetched, that they are impossible. No, they're not. People are achieving great things for mission. And then this today, we're also going to call for members to get involved in outreaches to bring souls to Christ. It doesn't take anything to bring souls to Christ. In one day in my church, I brought 40 people. I rented 2 buses. My domestic staff went with a bus. I went with another bus. And we were doing that. You know, when I hear about somebody like Pastor Adeboye on his 80th birthday, the season, he won 80 million souls for Christ. And I'm like, so we're going to the same heaven. What are we talking about? It's as if we've just lost the fact that we're still going to go to heaven. We're too preoccupied with things. We shouldn't get it twisted. We're still going to go to heaven. And we're going to be rewarded. And it's according to your own works, not according to your pastor's work, not according to your wife, not according to your friend, not according to your close associates. What have you done for Jesus on earth? We're going to be focused. We're going to be refocused. Look at it. Can we open our Bible to 2 Corinthians 5, 18 to 20? The emphasis is that all of us have been called to the ministry of reconciliation. It says, all this is from God who reconciled us. The major purpose of reconciling us is to give us ministry of reconciliation. So you might say, I'm not in ministry. Yes, you are in ministry. And the major ministry is to reconcile others to Christ. And I'm hearing some people say, I don't know how to talk to people. You are going to learn another perspective to talk to people today. And verse 19 says that God was reconciling the world to Christ, not counting people's sin against them. And he committed us the message of reconciliation. When you see Jesus begin to repeat things, that means it's laying emphasis, is of greater importance. And so verse 20 now says, if truly you are born again, you are an ambassador. Do you know the meaning of an ambassador? If you're in another country, you virtually have everything, supposedly. It may not be, but that's exactly what's supposed to be. The paraphernalia of office, the same way the resident, the president in that same country should be having. So if you are an ambassador of Christ, do you know the legions of angels that follow you? Do you know doors open on their own accord? Do you know you enter exclusive circles? Because just like Pastor Kola said, inside of you, you already have it. But how are we supposed to do this? We may not do this ministry of reconciliation like Pastor Kola will do it. But everybody can do it. Say to me, everybody can do it. Who are ambassadors? My own definition, ambassadors are gatekeepers of influence. Because this year we're talking about enlargement for influence. And these are people who control access to key areas of power, decision making, and public perception. These are gatekeepers. I'm talking about gatekeepers. These are people of influence, gatekeepers of influence that control access to key areas of power. Have you not heard Psalm 66 verse 3 says, through the greatness of his power, our enemies will submit. If you look at another translation, not necessarily enemies, it's saying competitors. It might be people that you just suddenly have a competitive urge over people that are supposed to be competing with you in your industries because you are a gatekeeper. And you're not doing it, you are not forcing. It just comes naturally. It becomes a default setting for you. In a spiritual sense, gatekeepers are those who stand at the gates, positions of authority, and determine what enters or exits. Whether it's idea, whether it's blessing, whether it's money, whether it's people. Imagine if everybody inside this room sees themselves as a gatekeeper, because you are actually a gatekeeper. But we're going to step into it today, and we're going to start enforcing ourselves in that area because we are gatekeepers. So when you step into this role as a gatekeeper, you begin to shift atmospheres that ordinarily nobody shifts. And you begin to have open doors for kingdom level changes. You actually shape what gets seen, heard, or approved. And I'm talking about gatekeepers. Essentially, you hold the key to opportunities. You hold the key to narratives, and you hold the key to resources. How many of us are already changing inside of us and saying, I'm a gatekeeper? Let me see your hand. Yes, you are. I tell you, gatekeepers are the ones that affect the economy of nations. They stand to predict and usher in the next kingdom acceleration, opening doors that have been eluded nations for so long. Gatekeepers. And you are seated in this room. Oh, Christians are too religious. They don't know their rights. I'm telling you, they don't know their rights. What are the key spheres of influence? The first is the family. How many of us chose your family like me? And I was coming from heaven. I just told God, I would love to be in this family. Let me see your hand. You're like me. No, nobody did. That means there is a reason why you are in that family. The family is first and most foundational sphere of influence, shaping values and identity. Your genes, your personality is part of their wiring to do what you are called to do in life and in destiny. Family is everything. Yesterday we were for families. Our pastor, our physicist that prayed, kept emphasizing that if you missed yesterday, I'm sure families came together, right? Yes, even some for prayers, yes. But a lot of families did a lot of good things together yesterday, yes. Families are the compass that guide us. They are the inspiration to reach great heights. Do you know how many hours do people spend in church, the children spend in church in a week? I'm sorry? Okay. How many hours do they spend with their parents? And part of this is sleeping, or add the sleeping. Eh? In a week. A day. So multiply that by 7. 126. And are we not unjust to church? So we expect church to suddenly become miracle workers and start influencing our children. They spend 100 and something hours with us, and they only spend few hours with church. What are we talking about? And we also expect teachers to do what we fail to do as parents. Families. If you get it right as families, do you know that through your families, the families of the earth are supposed to be blessed? I'm talking about Genesis 12b. Because an estimated 80% of company-wide world are family businesses. The family control the economy. So as families, our contribution is enormous. Imagine if as families, each of us has now become missioner. I will now say, before the end of first quarter, we're just going to bring a family. Is that too much for Jesus? And you can imagine how many children have brought their parents to church. Is that not missional? Is that too much? By the end of April, what do you think this church will have become? I'm just talking about family alone. Don't bring your family, don't bring more than one per quarter. Don't do it. Just target a family, pray, and bring them and establish them. That's your own platform. It's a major platform that shapes culture. I'm telling you, true families, 70% of the wealth creation in Nigeria is generated from family businesses. And so Satan sits on families and erode unity so that they cannot amount to anything. You see a husband saying, I can't do business with my wife. Even if you cannot, you can learn how to have ownership mentality and hire the right skills, but at least have a family business. Because it is through your family that the families of the world will be blessed. Kingdom influence, through family. Family business are strategies for building and maintaining multi-generational wealth. So understanding pivotal role of family-owned enterprises in driving economic growth and innovation is extremely very crucial. And then the next is the religious leaders like our pastor here. They guide moral, spiritual, and ethical foundations of society. Because access to the gifts and ministry of a teaching priest like our pastor, who is determined by covenant to leave no stone unturned until God's people rise to a position of stature, knowledge, and wisdom through sound communication of doctrine, is a heart condition and the determination to see God's people rise to ascend superior levels in the spirit by granting accurate understanding of the scriptures. I tell you, your pastor's message will provide contextualized insight and practical application, speaking directly to your moment. I'm sure you probably have a theme for this month, which is mission. That's why I'm here. If you look and take cognizance of every theme of the month and you begin to apply yourself to it, your life will so take a trajectory that has never happened before. You just start from this month, from today. I'm saying I'm going to do exactly what my pastor says I will do. Because it is actually God that chooses our shepherd for us. We don't. I'm telling you. So it is when you embrace the monthly word of the Lord that helps you to stay focused on specific themes of scriptures, and by applying this God's truth to your everyday moments and combining it with Bible, it serves as a comprehensive guide for your life journey. And this offers principles and truths that shape your worldview and decisions. So this synergy of scriptures that guides you through the entire life and your pastor that speaks into your moments is so powerful. It leaves you helps you to fulfill your God-ordained destiny. Church is a major culture. It's a major platform that shapes culture. Church is a nation. There is no profession that is not in the church. And we're going to find out today. There is no aspects. You may not know them, but they are here. They are here. So if you want to grow church, we can grow church if you are intentional. It's because we are not intentional. You can imagine if some of the pastors there now say, okay, I'm going to use my ministry as a pastor, the platform to bring in people to church. What's going to happen? That's it. That's actually your job anyway. Abby? In one day, Peter, imagine, I wonder if a pastor is not given to word and intercession. In one day, when the day of Pentecost was fully formed, the same Peter that was so timid became so powerful because he committed to the word. How can a pastor come and preach on a Sunday and you have not bathed that service in the presence of God? Not only have you taken yourself for granted, you have taken the people of God for granted, and you have taken God for granted. And you are going to be accountable. A lot of people just feel it's a nomenclature. Oh, you're going to be accountable to God. You're going to give account of every soul. So it's better for you to stay aside. Let nobody call you a pastor. Because what is joined to it is more than you can think about. Everybody under you, you will give account of them. It's not a nomenclature. It's not just a designation that you will enjoy. So imagine if you now do your part as a pastor. This church cannot contain us. It's too small. The building cannot contain us. Then let's go to political and government advisors. They shape policy. They shape governance. They shape national direction. According to Psalm 105, verse 22, it said to bind his princes at his pleasure and teach his senators wisdom. This describes the authority of Joseph, who was given to responsibility to instruct and guide the princes and elders in Egypt. Joseph was not a pastor, but he held Egypt like this. So if you are shy to join politics when God is nudging you, you are denying yourself the right to be a gatekeeper. Yes. What about Daniel in the Bible? He reigned through 3 different kings. Imagine somebody reigning through an SGS, reigning through 3 different governors. That's exactly what that means. If a governor ruled for 8 years, he was there. Another governor, 8 years, he was there. Another governor, he was there. He probably had done 24 years. A gatekeeper. That means the governor was not the actual gatekeeper. I'm talking about oh my God. Do you know what it means to be a gatekeeper? Oh, I'll give you testimonies. I'm telling you. Today, we have an example on the plateau, our governor, a gatekeeper. With the little time he is reigning, peace has been restored. They say when the righteous rule, what happens? So if you're called into politics, don't be sorry. That's a signature calling for you, and I'm going ahead of myself. Do you know what it has said? It's the way they refer to him as a publicly professed Christian who actively participates in church life. He was elected president of Nigerian Corpus Fellowship during his NYSC. He had been sowing that seed. He had been faithful. And today, he regularly attends and references services at the Cocaine Church, a denomination that many Nigerians discuss as Pentecostal. And his public messages, look at the way he upheld Christmas on the plateau, he calls for peace, appeals for prayers. I saw him kneel down in front of everybody. They prayed for him, acknowledging Jesus and lifting up Jesus. That's what we're talking about, a gatekeeper. In addition, do you know that even the Senate President, Akpabio, identified him as a pastor and a Christian leader who will not join groups targeting Christians? He will never shy away from it because Jesus comes first. Yes. What about cultural icons? We're talking about kings. They set trends, they mold societal standards and influence generations. David, the shepherd king, had so much influence. God called him as a king. He had time to pray 3 times and worship God 7 times. No wonder God called him the man after my heart. You know, God only inhabits the praises of his people. And David knew as a king that he was going to be exposed without that. What about Solomon? He sacrificed so much that God himself had to appear. He sacrificed 1,000 bulls. God himself, he did not call God, but there's no way God will see sacrifice and will not rush to that place. After sacrificing 1,000 bulls, God appeared to him and said, "What do you want?" That's the kind of sacrifice we are talking about today. Do you know there's a way you can provoke heaven? God himself will come to you. You're not the one going to ask because you are doing what it has never happened. Look at the king of Moab. They've been winning. The children of Israel have been winning, but he knew what it means to turn the tides. And he sacrificed his only child. God, the Bible says in 2 Kings 3, was it 2 Kings 3? It said God turned the indignation against Israel. God himself turned his back because somebody sacrificed. Somebody sacrificed. Look at Esther. Esther went there. For 365 days, a man was doing incantation. He was doing incantation. And you know what he was doing? He wanted a date that he will catch the king. Imagine if you are like David around if you are like Daniel and Joseph around the governor. Are you not going to protect that governor? Look at what Emma was doing. Emma was a kingmaker, was a gatekeeper. So he spent 365 every day of the year. He was just looking for a day. He was doing incantation. He was putting in his ifa so that he will get a date because they said the head of the king was too hard. That's the meaning. So he needed just one day that the head will have cracked to get him, and he got him. And God, that king came under that spell, and he wrote against the same Jew kingdom. They were giving him the best in the society. And you are telling me that if you are supposed to be in politics, you are not doing the right thing. Don't come and be struggling for a microphone with your pastor. You don't need to do that. You have a place that God has designed for you. Just stay in your place. You'll be a gatekeeper. And what happened? 3 days fasting and prayer dislodged what 1 year incantation did. 3 days fasting and prayer dislodged. Who is talking about where is that incantation? Who is it that said and it come to pass when the Lord has not appointed it? Where is the incantation coming from? Esther said, if I perish, I perish. And he went. Have you noticed what had been happening in Warri? Oh, Olu Warri. He has changed the narratives. The city has suddenly become a kingdom because somebody stepped in as a gatekeeper, a cultural icon. Another one is Obi of Onitsha in Naemeke Achebe. I can't remember other ones, but these are the ones that stands out. Cultural icon. What about arts and entertainment? Let me see the creatives. Clap, 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 clap. Who is telling you you are less by being in creatives? Which other platform shape the millennials and Generation Alpha more than your area? You not just shape culture, you shape mood, collective imagination, and you turn stories, ideas into stories. Look at what Mount Zion has done. It has become a generational thing. So you can also step into the narratives. Look at Christ Embassy, Love World Music that have produced icons, Sinach, Frank Edward. They have become global icons. I've seen somebody, I don't know his name, that brother that was taking picture. A global icon. Can we clap for him too? New Covenant Church producing his own. Yes. We also have RCCG, Nathaniel Bassi. Yes. We can produce our own icon, arts and entertainment. Yes. Media and communication. I tell you, New Covenant just can have his own TV. And it's going to happen. Yes. It will happen. It will happen. It's just for Christ. These are platforms. Sports. Building community. Teaching discipline. Inspiring unity across borders. Look at, how many of us know Timothy Nwanko, the footballer? He uses his platform as a professional to project faith. Praying in the field, it's not the millions of dollars they want to pay him is not stopping him from showing that Jesus is Lord. Wilfred Oyinye, Pentecostal too. Oh, education, the best profession in the world. Let me see the teachers. Can we clap for them? The best profession in the world. Wow. Maybe because I'm a teacher. I know coach is just teaching. I'm a teacher. Oh my God. Teaching, shaping minds. Can we clap for Brother Bubbly? We are teachers, right? Yes. Building capacity, determining future workforce and leadership. If you were not taught by any teacher, don't raise your hand. I know that you from heaven, you came with your brain, just like Pastor Kola was saying, God had already laid his hands on your brain, and you just emerged. In fact, from your mother's womb, you've been carrying force. So as you came, you just stepped in, no teacher taught you. That shows you what the education world is. How many children have been bewitched because of witches and that are teachers? Imagine if you have influx of teachers laying hands on our children, building global leaders, we will not be where we are today. If teachers begin to see that platform as a calling and not just as a profession, and they don't see themselves less because they know they are going to have awards when they get to heaven. Look at what Covenant University is doing. And I know that this is my Pastor Kola that I'm seeing here. School, you will just emerge one day and you begin to see international standards. You love education. How many degrees? I'm telling you. You see, Covenant University is known for strong emphasis on academic excellence, character development, entrepreneurship. And they have raised new generation of leaders for African continent and beyond. How many pastors that are globally known are from Covenant University? Pastor Ire, an example, several of them. And you are telling me You now be hiding as a teacher? No, now that's the lie from the pit of hell. Stand up tall. You are a gatekeeper. I don't want to start mentioning health. Where are my doctors? Where are the medical practitioners? Let me see your hand. Yeah. Oh, we're good. You not just influence quality of life, productivity, and national development. There is no pastor, no matter how anointed, that can do medical outreach without you. Let me see the pastor now. Okay, use your anointing to perform operation. Begin to... I'm telling you. Oh, what can I talk about? Entrepreneurs like us. Oh my God. Business people. Do you know we are not clapping for us, the business people? Let me see the business people. Let me see your hand. Wow. We contribute to 96% of the economy in this nation. No government makes money. We're the reason the SMEs, why Nigeria has not come down. We're the reason. We're so big as gatekeepers. Do you know, when I was in Coca-Cola, before we came out with any budget, we must call Dangote to give us budget for sugar. Can you do anything in this country without Dangote? It's just purely an entrepreneur raised up. Elumelu and all of them. How many of us were proud to join those banks several years before? No, nobody. But they rose up. We are risk takers. The higher our risk, the higher our profits. I'm telling you. Yes. Oh, industry regulators. We not just control the market, we set economic boundaries. We determine what happens. I'm going to be calling on families to just get up. As you are getting up, if you are families, just get up. Let me see you. Just let's clap for them. Families, get up. Families, get up. From today, how many of us are bringing additional family to church before the end of March? Let's see our hand. It's before God, though. It's not me. Oh. Please, let's see our hand. Yes. No, the families are not raising their hands. Is it a commitment to God? Not more than one. Between you and your family, it's just one. Just two. Please sit down. What are our pastors? Those in ministry, pastors, can you get up? No. There are some that are just called pastors. They are ordained pastors. How many of us are going to use our platform to bring souls? Just one person. Don't bring more than one, no. Don't bring more than one, yes. What are the people in politics? I teach senators wisdom. Let me see your hand. Don't be shy. Rise up, politics. And if you know you are convinced you are supposed to be in politics, yes, you will ensure that somebody comes to Christ. Education. Are you intentional now about the people you are interfacing with? Yes. Health, please. Health. Let's clap. Arts and entertainment. Where is that brother? I don't know his name. Where is Arts? Yes, you are the one. He's going to bring somebody. Pastor, look at him. Let him replicate himself. Well done. What about cultural? I'm sure, as I was sitting down there, God was telling me that somebody in this church will become a king. Pastor Kola is going to ordain the king. Yes. You know what Isaiah 45 says? It said, All of us gatekeepers, just begin to say, me as a gatekeeper. God has grabbed my hand. He is going before me, subdue nations, loosening the belt of kings, opening doors before me. You know, the good thing about being a gatekeeper is that you are not alone. God, Isaiah 45 says, I'm going to go ahead of you to open doors that have been shut down generations before you. That's why you've been struggling. That's why it's been difficult. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just because your destiny is too big. And the territorial demons that are surrounding your life. You know, let me tell you what happened. How many of us have read Frank Peretti, This Present Darkness? Yes. Depending on the size of your destiny, that's the size of the demon. So don't be thinking everything, is it as if I have a problem? No, you don't have a problem. Your destiny is too big. That's the reason. Imagine if you are the one that is supposed to be reigning with the governor. Which juju would they not do to you? You are the one protecting him now. God says, I'm going to go before you and make all the crooked places straight. And then every rough place will be made smooth. Because that's the antidote. Every door will be shattered. Every bronze door, every iron bar will be cut in asunder. Then after that is done, what is going to happen? It's going to unleash on you treasures of darkness. The level of money that we are looking for is inside the darkness. Territorial princes they are taking care of them. It's not cheap money that will build the kingdom. But you know, we want to enter into that place anyhow. No, it doesn't happen. You need to be a gatekeeper to enter certain places, to take what people in exclusive circles are taking. Hidden riches in secret places. Have you seen secret society? Do you know we are not thinking about it. We think it's cheap money. You can't just enter certain places anyhow. You know, there are people in Abuja, they will sacrifice, they will say, if you want to enter this level of another level, go and bring 8 couples. And the only thing you are doing is fasting and praying. As a Christian, what level of, and you see, if you are going to move into a level, there's a commensurate sacrifice that goes with it. It's the same. In fact, once you land it like this, door opens for you. You must enter that place. That's why you don't see a lot of Christians in certain levels, because all they do is, I must sweep the church. They will be sweeping as a seed. I will sweep the auditorium. I'll say, that's not, that it's okay, but there are certain seeds that you will drop. God himself will appear. You see, you don't need to, you don't need to invite him, just like Solomon. He sacrificed 1,000 bulls. God appeared. Say, what do you want? Have you dropped? Look at Abraham, his only son. There's a level you want to enter. What seed have you dropped? No. There's seeds that are commensurate. I hope I'm not. Pastor, are you still happy with me, Pastor? Because no, Pastor, they don't talk about money. Sorry, forgive me. Please forgive me. So I'm telling you. So what am I trying to say here? Today, do you know what happens in Haggai? Haggai, Lord said the time has come to rebuild the Lord's house. Is it a time for you yourself to build, living in panel houses while my house remains as a ruin? Now, this is what the Lord Almighty is saying. Give careful thought to your ways. You have planted much. You have seen little. You eat, but you don't have enough. You put on clothes, you earn wages, but there are holes in that pocket. And it's because God is not a priority. Today, we're going to make God a priority. There is a level that you have been wanting to enter. And all you have been doing is fasting, which is good. But we're going to put a seed that is commensurate. Tell me whether God will not appear to you. Permit me to just give some testimonies here. I manage some plants in some very wicked places. Maiduguri, to be precise, one of them. You don't find women and in my career, I was only female. If there's a promotion if a promotion comes, before I go, I must drop a commensurate seed. As you are seeing me, I've not sold less than 15 cars. Houses of caliber, drop it. Doors open. The kind of favor. We're 13 general managers. Me alone, I collected 11 awards out of the 13. I made all the other men to share 2. I was... Do you know something? Because they were killing cows. They were burying cows. So you see me, I will just drop a house as if I'm dropping a phone. I entered that place. My result, you cannot. It's not possible. If you compete with me, you are number 2. You just line and be number 2. Seed has entered the ground. It's not, you cannot. Just ensure that you are me. I'm a kingdom. My calling is kingdom financier. That's my calling, primary calling, financing the kingdom. Where are we taking this money to? Let's ask ourselves. Do you know, because of that, I now built a church inside the plants. When I got there, I saw a mosque. It was like Central Mosque in Lagos. I say, this is an insult. I'm here. They were telling me that why did they raining me, rain now, busy rain. Then they looked at me. See them. But I stepped into that place. I did not just get the result that they have never gotten since the inception of that company. Seeds. Oh, I know how to fast. But seeds. Where you see projects happening in church, you are the first to drop seeds. It must happen. It must speak for you. What that plant has never done. In fact, when they moved me, the Shehu of Borno wrote to Lagos that they must not carry me. Seed speaking. The MD came to my plant and saw the building church. He said, for me, what is this? I said, it's a church. That's what is bringing all the results. I'm talking about a gatekeeper. Influence for God. Positions that God will give you are for, if I wasn't the general manager there, I would not have been able to build. As a general manager, you're supposed to be for Muslims and for, so if I spend 10,000, I'll spend 10,000 for Muslim. I'll spend 1 million for Christians. And all the plans I went were shut down. They were going to shut them down. But do you know something? With my seed, I brought water into the valley of Baka. I'm talking about gatekeeping. They brought me to Jos again. The MD had already come to shut the plant. Another seed. And it's commensurate. It's not the kind of seed that, as you are seeing, God will just be, when you are praying for what seed should I drop, you close one eye and open another eye, so that God, if God wants to put his hand on your most precious seed, you open it and say, God, don't touch it. I just had another, wow, God, what is it now? The plants did not just do beyond. In fact, the result I got, me, I don't know anything about football. They sent me to South Africa to go and watch football. That was the level of, do you know, okay, during the award, the first award we did when I was in Maiduguri, All the other male were saying, it's a lie. You will not carry this thing. When we went to another award, when I was in Jos, it was the same MC. You know what he was saying? He said, history is repeating itself again. I'm talking about gatekeeping. Today, I don't want to bore you with testimonies upon testimonies. What about different schools? What about different businesses? Areas that I know that ordinarily I should not have stepped into. But they know there is not possible. Even if it's just one person, I'm the one they will give. They must give me. It's seed. It's nothing else. Where you must drop certain seed, you will drop it. The gates will open of their own accord. Thank you so much for having me. I'm grateful.